Moving on to the next race on the card at Happy Valley. It is race number 6, the Mauritius Handicap Class 4 here over 1,200 metres to open the second double trio. Cool Celeb is coming back from throat surgery. He's had 2 trials up at Chungfa to prepare for this land power. Recently went okay in a barrier trials, only had 1 start here. Colonel, a last start winner. Whiskey Neat was 3 wide, no cover last time out. And there's a newcomer there, Donk de Shui, for David Hayes and Tom Marquand. There with the Inno legend, Zach Purton did place last time out behind Super Red Dragon. Wood on Fire, a maiden from 18 starts, Derek Long and Peter Ho. Johnny comes into this with Mi Choi, very close to a class drop off 43. And Noble Man, another one close to a class drop, 43 points for him, Joe Moreira. Cool Celeb, Dong de Sui, and also Supreme Plus, the 3 that have been to Chungfa and back in the last 30 days, Ed.
And with the debutant in the race and also 3 of these resuming, there's a few variables in this speed map. Whiskey Neat is likely to go forward. Here Comes Ted is capable of going forward or back, but he's been mapped to go forward from that wide draw. Colonel is also drawn wide here too.
Here Comes Ted is the first one we're going to have a look at here, and nice piece from him. He's a very consistent horse. He's won 2 of his last 5 and been placed in the other 3. So a horse going really well at the moment is Here Comes Ted, and all of those have been at Happy Valley. Loves it here. Does him. And Colonel finally put it all together. He promised to win for so long, this horse. He got beaten as a 1.4 favourite at one stage in his career, but now he's won. He came to Happy Valley and he won. So he's got winning form and his track work's been good. I Know Legend is another horse who's been going really well recently. He just unlucky enough ran into an informed Super Red Dragon last start. But he looks not far away from a win as well, and his work's been very good as well.
Let's highlight that winning effort of Colonel last time out for last season's champion trainer Ricky Yu, and he had been disappointing prior to this. Ed Paul referenced he'd been beaten at 1.4, but he put it all together on this occasion, cleared out by 2.5.
He did, yes. He sat behind the leader and he kicked away and was too good for them. Here Comes Ted, ran another honest race. He's in very consistent form at the moment. Paul, where do we see Colonel on the run, though, from the draw?
That's the key, isn't it? I mean, he's going to, if he doesn't get it slotted in midfield, I think they're going to have to go forward on him.
One more to highlight before we hear from Zach Purton. This is Wins All, and Wins All in a second placing for him last time out at 4.3 here behind Lucky Quality. He goes around later on in the program. Noble Man in this race as well. Where does Wins All fit in here, Paul? Well,
I haven't got him in. I just didn't like the draw, barrier 10. When he won in Class 5, he got the perfect run from barrier number 1. He has backed it up with a couple of good placings here in this grade, but from the draw, I couldn't put him in.
Noble Man put in a super effort last time out, and on the back of that more recent run, I think he's one of the better hopes in the race, but I do think Wins All has got further rating points in hand, Tom.
Zach Purton has the ride on Inno Legend. He's had just 5 starts. He's got a couple of placings on the board. Was run down last start by Super Red Dragon. Let's hear from Zach.
Inno Legend, Zach, what do you make of the way that he's going at the moment?
He's been going really well. He sort of went forward and got taken on, and then he went back and run a good race, and then just bumped into a couple of good horses that were destined for higher classes. So I think he's been running well. Hopefully the weaker competition at Happy Valley is what he just needs to help him get that result. A little bit of a tricky draw, the way the race is going to be run, but you know, if we can have some luck, I'm sure he's going to be there.
Loomed up to win last time out, but then was run down by Super Red Dragon. Would the shorter straight at Happy Valley suit him better than Shartin, do you think?
Possibly, but last race was run at a strong gallop. They went really, really hard through that midsection, and you know, that was why Super Red Dragon was able to get over the top of him in the last bit. If it was just a normally run race, I think he probably would have held on and won. I don't necessarily think he needs a short straight at Shartin. He's just been a little bit stiff.
Come up early favourite here, Paul, has Inno Legend. Does he make it into the tips?
I've got him on top, actually. I think he's pretty close to a win, and I agree with Zach says. I think Happy Valley's going to really suit this horse. Here Comes Ted's been consistent. Whiskey Neat, he's a really well-rated horse now from barrier 3. He'll get his opportunity. And Colonel, as Edward said, it's just where he is in the run. If he had a lower draw, he would have been higher up the order. 7-2-5-4.
I'm with Noble Man in this race for Sizer Moreira. He's gone close at his last couple of starts. He loomed up to win last time out, but the extra work that he did counted against him. I've got him with the lightweight beating Inno Legend. They look the main two. Here Comes Ted. Can't fault his form at the moment, and Wins All's also fairly progressive. 12, 7, 2 and 10 for me.
Certainly the two numbers that crop up there are Here Comes Ted and Inno Legend. I think they'll be able to find out the finish in race number 6. Time for a break here on Racing to Win. After the break, we highlight the final two legs, legs 3 and 4 of the Longines International Jockeys Championship.